Okay. All right. I think we are up and running. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Sent thing. Great. And got this for today. Today's stream is going to be object interaction UI, info, FSM template, icon controls, etc. Object interaction. So I worked on this card last night. Lower that music. And yeah, I want to make some templates for object interaction, because object interaction in Memories of a Spy is a combination of a bunch of systems from a lot of my favorite games. So it's gonna be a little messy, but I think overall I have a pretty clear picture of it now. It's different from how it used to function in the old streams. I made some FSMs that were sort of the beginnings of it, the alpha versions of the interaction system that, let me see, yeah, this is the whole thing, that would eventually become this design here. So I tried to be as clear as I can. I come over to my Trello board, and in my core features I have my object interaction card, and in here I have a description of it that will kind of give me the most generic cases of using this. Tyrone says, think my message just appeared. Who is this sexy specimen? Well, it's not me. I don't know who you're talking about. Is there somebody else on my stream? Is there somebody behind me? Because it ain't me. How's it going, Tyrone? How you doing? I hope I have a good show in store for you today. Yeah, so I got the HUD here, got interactable and world interactable equipped and adding to inventory. It's gonna be some funky things here as far as how I want this system to work. Nevertheless, let's actually get to it. So what's first in the item? Let's do this item FSM template. So we need a template. Actually, let me turn off some of this thing. So I've been doing networking stuff, and that means that I need to turn off some of these networking debugs. I'm gonna put this in here because that's also networking debugging. Debug, networking debug. There we go. Turn all that off. Don't need that right now. And get rid of this camera, I believe. Yeah. And I think I have in my resources a temp player that I could drag in. So let's put, where do we want to go? Where should we do all this testing? Object interaction testing. Let's go to, I guess we'll just do it here in Paris, right? Why not? Or Berlin, Moscow, maybe Berlin? Let's see. Let's go to like, is there any cool places around here that we can kind of hang out at? This one's a little empty right now. Maybe we could do testing in here. Also kind of empty. Maybe we don't go to Berlin. Let's do London. Go to like, hang out here, maybe at the record shop or something. Oh, you know what? The record shop's probably a good one, because this is where we're gonna want some info on these records. How are you, my broski? I'm doing good, man. I'm so fucking excited to finally be into the programming bits. I mean, like, it has been. I've been back into programming for the last few weeks now, but I'm finally glad to have gotten over a lot of the project management shit and just generally being able to do more fun, quote-unquote fun programming bits, stuff that's worth streaming, you know. I rewatched a lot of your videos. Firstly, the quality is and has always been superb. What video editor do you? Looks dope. Thank you. I just use Premiere, but video editor doesn't matter. You could do everything that I did in those videos. You could do in all the other editing software: Vegas, DaVinci, Final Cut, etc. So whatever you're using, I'm sure is good to go too. Okay, so I'm gonna drop this temp player in here, bring him over here. So this is just our little temporary guy. And on our little temporary guy, I have an interact FSM. On this interact FSM, I'm going to, let's see, we have This is a template, right? Okay, good. We just want to send interact, but we also want to, let's look at the checklist here. For the item FSM template, it'll have input variables, so the item has a name, a description, a use description number 2, an is grabbable, a container limit, so it's like an int variable. I'm not sure if it's an int or a float. I kind of want it to be an int, because I feel like it might get a little sloppy if it's a float. And and the actual size for it, the FSM specific to the item's functions. Okay, so I think yeah, let me just show you what I'm working on. So like in Dishonored, you have 2 little UI elements here. So whenever you're looking at an item, it tells you can either, it tells you one of 2 options, and the first one is just a press to do it, and the second one is just a hold to do it. So it's the same button here, but this top one is press and this bottom one is hold. So that's the same type of UI I want to use for my stuff. It's super simple, super out of the way, and then I want to also be able to toggle that on and off. So if the player chooses to play a version of the game where they don't have that interface in front of them because maybe they've played it enough and they already know how it all works, they could just get rid of that, you know? I love Final Cut so much, but damn, I'm not buying a Mac for that. I mean, Premiere and Vegas and all those other DaVinci's the kind of one of the oddballs out, but the rest of those editing programs, they're basically the same thing. I mean, even DaVinci's basically the same thing, but the other ones are like, they're all clones of each other. Premiere and Final Cut and Vegas and all that stuff, they're like clones of each other. I'm sure you do fine on any of them. You're gonna be lurking on the side. Okay, cool. And then I got Quadrilateral Cowboy here, which is just like, you know, my motherfucking jam. I hope Brendan Chung plays my game. I do have these fantasies of Brendan Chung and Lucas Pope being like, good job, Steven. Pat on the back. Here's the appreciation your father never gave. No, I'm kidding. My father loved me. So, because he's passed away. Not that I have a father who loved me once and then stopped. There's no way that any of what I'm saying is going to sound right. I'm just going to get back to work here. So this is Quadrilateral Cowboy. And then down here in the bottom right corner, for objects that are in the world, you have this use. It's like a similar thing, right? Like the Dishonored one shows you in the center of the screen. This one shows you in the bottom right. The difference being that this is for objects in the world. And what I'm thinking is I can combine the two so that they're always at the center of screen. Or maybe I could change it so that let the player decide whether they're center of the screen and bottom right. But for now, I'll just do the default one where they're at the center of the screen. And then I'll just show an icon. Because you see how this is like a mouse icon. It shows this is left click with hold, and that's a right click. And then you could just do the same thing with this, except see, this is an icon too, except instead of square, it would be like, you know, a key letter or whatever. So I think these two are compatible. But the difference I just wanted to point out is that these are items that are in the world that have primary and secondary actions that are sort of separated only by a key press versus a key hold. And then what do I have for interactable in world? Interactable equipped. Some items have a function when equipped, like firing a gun or eating food. Those ones, I think those ones are gonna be kind of like this too. Or, yeah, I think they should kind of say what they do, but maybe in the bottom right or something. Yeah. Let's do the ones that are in the world first. It's crazy ass loud music. Okay. The programming in this is that if your raycast is hitting it, so player interact, waiting for action, there could be a raycast in here too. But I think maybe they should also be separate. There should honestly just be a separate FSM for that. That would be dumb if I had. So what I'll do is add a component to my player, an FSM, and we'll have this as our interactable, what do you call this? Info? Yeah, interactable info. What do I call these? Object interaction. Okay. So this is interactable info, and then in this FSM, oh fuck, we're on a player prefab, so I'm just going to do prefab, unpack completely, cool. And in here, we'll have a raycast. And in raycast, you know what I'm kind of thinking about? I'm kind of thinking, since I'm here, let's just do this. Let's make it a good habit to get raycast 2. Where the fuck is raycast 2 at? Whoa, 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 whoa. Where's raycast 2, baby? Huh. Isn't there a raycast 2? Let's ask the internet. Playmaker raycast 2? It's on the ecosystem now. Because what did it have? It just has a, oh, it's also here. I think I might need to put that back on the ecosystem. Please find a version that implements a no-hit event. Am I missing something? Is it not here? There's raycast 2D, raycast all. Is that all? No. And should I get raycast 2 after all? I'll mention it to Jean. When was this posted? 2013. I'll just take the Razubi. What's up? How's it going, Razubi? You did. You made it. And we're doing some fun stuff today, finally. Okay, so in interactable info, let's call this raycast. Also, this mic is like all up in my face. Okay. Is there a way I can... There we go. Am I still coming in clear? I kind of angled the mic strangely. Okay, so we're gonna be... I kind of feel like I should just turn this into a motherfucking template. I'm gonna be making templates nonstop, baby. So I'll call this player camera. And this will be a input variable. And we'll drag and drop that in here. Okay, so it's shooting it from there in the direction, +1 in Z space. The distance, we'll say they should always be able to kind of look at things within... This is interesting because it's like, this is just displaying info, not necessarily, this doesn't necessarily mean that the thing is interactable, but they should share the same distance, because you wouldn't want to give information about something that wasn't within reach that might, yeah, because then it's like saying, here's the button you have to interact. So this should be within reach only. Let's say it is 5 meters. Just for now, we could change that later. In fact, let's just change this distance to a new variable called interactable distance. Okay. We don't need to do store did hit. I don't think, maybe not. Store hit object. New variable object hit. And then we'll have a next frame event in here because let's see, go just next. It seems like something you should be able to do in one state. You could probably do it with an action sequence. I'm just going to make it into 2 states though. So down here in the second state, we'll just call this like reset, And then in here, we'll have a set game object value that changes our object hit to nothing. Okay, and then it sends back, oops, and we add a finished event that sends back here. Not much, just been working. How about you? Yeah, same. I actually spent like most of yesterday, so I've been, for the last few weekends or so, I've been teaching my friends how to make games with Unity and Playmaker. They want to, and are currently in the middle of making a horror game. So I offered to help to facilitate it. So that was a lot of my day yesterday, and I had a great time doing it. Other than that, I've been working on multiplayer networking for online multiplayer for Memories of a Spy. I've been just hanging out with Jean on these phone calls where he's showing me how to do stuff, and I have to admit, not to toot my own horn, but I'm going to toot my own horn and say, like, I've been getting pretty far with this multiplayer networking without any help, but there have been some times where I came to a complete fucking halt and really needed Jean to help me out. Apparently there are some bugs with some of the Pun 2 actions that he's going to go fix, and then hopefully this coming week that'll get sorted out to a point that makes my project a little bit more, a little less frustrating to be working on. So, okay, we have this set game object hit to nothing, come back here to raycast, and hit point, hit normal, hit distance, layer mask. This later on will definitely get updated, this layer mask. I haven't sorted out all my layers just yet, but this will definitely have to only account for items that I want to actually interact with. Okay, so what else? I think that's it. So the next part I could do is tell a canvas. So check this out. I'm gonna make, this will be sort of our main canvas. I'm gonna do a canvas here. UI, we'll put like a panel in there. This will be called Interactable Info Panel. And then in here, UI Text Mesh Pro, Interactable Info Text Mesh Pro string, and we'll change the panel. Let's focus in on it. 2D. We don't want it to be a raycast target. And we could shrink it down. I'm not sure how to do the sizing just yet, like what my preferences are going to be on this, but I know something like this might be good. Maybe like, ooh, too much. Okay, something like that is fine. And so there's this cool thing that I just yoinked from the ecosystem. So this panel, right click, use template, UI text follow. And in here, it gets the position of a target, and then it sets the target position. I'm not quite sure I understand how this works. Oh, okay. I think I get this. Because I really just yoinked it off of the ecosystem, the package, and then I turned it into my own template and just exposed these variables. Let me see. I think I can use this. Right? and I'll call this Interactable Info Panel. I guess this doesn't even really need to be named. I am going to turn my game manager back on, and I'm going to turn my multiplayer stuff off. I'm going to turn my character builder off, and in game manager, there's going to be an FSM that will be called game manager, or actually it'll just be called info. Game manager or info? What should I call this? Because I'm going to be using this fucking variable a lot, and I don't want to write out game manager all the time. I think info is fine. And I don't want to put GM. Let's just do info. Okay. And then in here, I'll have a new game object called my Interactable Info Panel. I'll drag and drop that in here. And then at the start, I'm going to do get owner and stores a new global variable, game manager. Alrighty. Okay, so interactable info panel, that's what I want. And I'll be getting that from my player. Gets the interactable info panel and sets the target. So I do get FSM game object. We'll do that at the top, why not? And it'll be getting the game manager. The FSM is, doesn't matter because it's the only FSM on there. And it'll be called that. And it'll also be called that here. It's gonna be getting that every frame. It doesn't need to get that every frame. It doesn't need to. In fact, I'm gonna put that over here, and we'll set this as the start state, set this as finished, come back here, and we'll just call this a init state. And that doesn't have to run every frame after all. Okay, so then it just comes back here and does the raycasty bits. But what does need to be here is set FSM game object, and we'll put that after the raycast, and it'll be setting the interactable info panel's variable target with the object hit, and that'll be every frame. Or actually, yeah, why the fuck not? Or actually, no, it doesn't need to, because we're doing next frame and coming back here. So it's like constantly resetting that, but you won't be able to tell. So the way this should end up working, shit. That might have been overkill. I think that's actually silly. Yeah, that was actually silly. It's so stupid because this raycast is always shooting out from the center of screen. So the UI would only ever pop up in the center of the screen. So this UI follow thing, which usually would have the, the UI element going around the screen, is never going to be anywhere else on screen because it should always just be at the center. So that was overkill. That's okay, because we now we set enough things up to just set the info of that thing. So back here on the interactable panel, I'm gonna copy the name of this, right? But I'll remove this, don't need it anymore. Add component, FSM, and we'll call this the same thing, but now in here, there will be I'm gonna call these element 1, element 1, and I'll duplicate that and call this element 2. Yeah, I think that's right. And then here in variables, this is just, well, I get that. Yeah, because then I'm just setting, okay. Because I don't want to have to get all these different game objects. Instead, what I could do is in this state, I can have a text mesh pro set text mesh pro text. Okay. By the way, this text mesh pro text is totally defunct. It's on the ecosystem still, but I'll see about getting that replaced soon. Because you have to go inside of this, you have to edit script and then go inside there and change the I forgot what value it is, but it's from text mesh pro to text mesh pro U GUI. So I'm using a slightly modified version of this thing. If this doesn't work for you, that is why. So set text mesh pro of element 1, and then the text mesh pro new variable, we'll also call this element 1 underscore string, and that'll be every frame. And then we'll copy paste that, except now it's element 2, and we're using a new variable called element 2 underscore string. Cool. And element 1 underscore string and element 2 underscore string. So with our player, I'm going to move our player down here so he's a little closer. With our player, it's still getting that interactable panel. And then in here, in the raycast, you have a set FSM string instead of set FSM game object. And you have that twice. So the game object is our interactable info panel. What a mouthful. And the variable name is element 1 underscore string. And you know what I could be doing? This could be a few different steps instead. So just to make my workspace a little cleaner, raycast will happen. It gets the object hit. So get object in front. Let's call this get object I'm looking at. Okay. And then we'll take these two actions, right? These ones, we'll drag them out over here. And it'll send off this way, where it will get info from item I'm looking at. Fuse, sorry, can't stay tonight. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. It's okay. This goes VOD after. You can always watch it another time. But how you doing? How's it going? So these actually don't even go there. These will go into the next one. So this state will be called, how you doing, by the way? Set element texts. Set element strings. This should honestly just be like a stack like this. Okay. I'm fine, thanks. How are you? I'm doing great. I'm so fucking excited to finally be back into doing this stuff. Feels so good. Get object I'm looking at, get the info from the item. So this is going to be get FSM string, and it'll be from the object hit, and the FSM name will be called info. Or what am I came up with some naming conventions. I want to use I think I just called this item. Right? I think I just called this item. Last night I was like, I need to come up with a perfect thing that I could just type in quick when I'm making shit. So I'm gonna call this item, the FSM name. And then or object, should I rename it in here? Item FSM template. Because objects in the world might have their own things. Yeah, I'm gonna call this object FSM template. Or should I call it object info? Just object is fine. Object FSM. I feel good about that one. So it's just called object. Alright, see ya. I'll be back next weekend. Right on, right on. Have a good one, man. Get some good rest. Get the FSM name. So this will be called interact1. New variable. Call it interact1. And we'll get that twice. And except this one will be interact2. And that'll also be called 2. I think that's it, right? There's only 2 interacts. Am I going to be showing, yeah, description 1, description 2, description, use description 1, use description 2. Primary use of item in hand, secondary use of item in hand, tap interact with item in front of the player. Right, there's 4 ways to interact with things. Primary and secondary for something that's equipped, and then primary and secondary for something that is just in front of you, that is not equipped. Press E to interact with object in front of you. Hold E to either pick up or secondary interact with object in front of you. Doors can't be picked up but have a secondary action. A gun can be picked up, a phone can be picked up, right? So holding E the hold action changes between items. So if you press and hold E on a door, it'll do the door's secondary action, which is to open it slowly. But if you press and hold E on like a telephone, it'll pick it up. And I think that holds water. Let's see. Okay, so you have interact 1 and interact 2. I'm always assuming that interact 1 is press and interact 2 is hold. So you get those strings. Yeah, and I'm assuming that those are already descriptions. It gets those strings. I should call it interact description. Hi, I cannot read the typeface, this which looks Russian, some type of Eastern European typeface that I don't understand. But hello, how's it going? Edit variable. I'm gonna call this one interact description 1, and then interact description 2. Okay, so we get the interact descriptions. And then I think that's it. Let's do that for now. So after it gets those things, goes to the next state, which is set element strings. And it'll be setting with the value interact description 1. And this one is interact description 2. This is already getting kind of sloppy because these aren't uniform now. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to change them in the interactable panel. I'm changing these. I'm going to change their name. So interactable description 1, interactable description 2, and then in here I'm renaming them to interactable description 1 and interactable description 2. Okay, just so it's more uniform. All good, mate. The script is Greek. Greek! Oh, I'm so off. Shows how uncultured and uneducated I am. Yeah, that's crazy. It's very crazy. How you doing? Have you stopped by before? I can't tell if you've ever popped in here before. How you doing? So temp player in here. Call it that. There we go. That's looking good to me. And in here though, right. Yes. And then this sends off the next state. This, by the way, should be just, oh, I can't do a finish state. I do a hit event, which is next. And it goes here. And then here, after I set that, it goes here to reset. And in reset, I'm going to reset my string values. So set string value. We're doing it for interact description 2, and they're just setting as blank. Okay, I think that's it, right? Object hit and interact description. Yeah, are these the only variables? Interact description, info panel. Yep. Interactable distance should maintain. This is going to be 5, right? Cool. Looking good. Okay, let's try it. So if I find my player, let's get out of 2D, and let's give these records something. So we'll just, as a little, we'll give them an FSM, and we'll give them a box collider. Turn on gizmos just so, yep, the box is around them, cool. The FSM, it needs something called object. And in the variables, there is going to be a string value, interactable description 1, and we'll do interactable description 2, and they'll both be input variables, because I want to make this into a template. So this is the object template. Nice, cool. And yeah, we'll put lots of other nice things in here, but this one, so we'll say interact description 1 is, there's honestly not much to do with. Like, this one is just like, just with records, you just pick them up. They don't do anything. And I'll just put that just to see them both pop up. And what we're going to need to do though is, where is my canvas? Let's focus up on this, go 2D, and the panel, let's make it a little bit bigger. Actually, no. Let's make it smaller, like this, and then change the size of these. The font size will be 24, and the panel will have a vertical layout group. And we'll do this middle center. Or rather, middle right. Middle left. Let's do middle center, and then just change this panel back to something more uniform. 250, 250, 250, and 250. And then these text items will be centered, and I believe that's okay now. Right. All right, I can stay for a bit. Did you look at the asset I tagged you with? No, I don't think so. Oh wait, was it like a survival asset? Is that what you were checking out? I didn't take a look at it exactly, but it looked like one of those assets for like survival games, right? Okay, so the interactable panel. We'll say that the spacing is a little bit less, like that. That's kind of nice. We'll just say -22. And I don't know if force child expand is what I want, but whatever. And then top, maybe like right there. Okay. So I think another thing I might want to add is in this object I'm looking at, bring this down, but first it'll do a get FSM bool, and then it'll check the object hit for the object FSM. The variable should be called is interactable, and then I'll paste that in there, and then I'll do an activate game object, the interactable info panel, and I'll activate it based on whether or not that thing is interactable. Do not want it to be recursive. And then I'll do a bool test on the is interactable. And if it's true and false, okay, if it's true, if it is interactable, then keep going, keep doing what you're doing. But if not, then just go back and look at it again. The problem is I can see infinite loop errors here, potentially. So what I'll do is have it come here and do a buffer where I'll put in a next frame event. Send event next, and just come back here. Okay, so this one is interactable, and I'll call this panel on off. Okay. Nice. I really hope this is a nice, smooth little system. Oh, there's a sex bot here. Yeah. Let me get rid of Moon Schrader. Report pornography or sexually explicit material. Yep. Get out of here. Yep, that's the one. It's pretty rad. I spent my Sunday integrating with Pun 2 to help people. Right on, right on. I did some work done on I got some work done on survival works though. I got an asset with 10 gigabytes of sound effects and music. Right on. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, sounds like February, man. Like we said, February was going to be a good one. February is indeed a good one. Oops, why am I? Oh, wrong thing. Okay, so let's see if that works. I should be able to turn off my interactable panel. Right? Am I fucking anything up by doing that? And then I have a feeling the floor might fall out, or I might just fall through the world right now. Hold on. I don't think I put a collider on this thing. Yep. Okay. Let's take care of that. Temp player, focus up, 2D, take this place, and just give it a box collider really quick. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Let's hit play. Let's bring this down. Press play. Yeah, I'm telling you, February equals game loop month. Right on. Ain't looking forward to the inventory though. Okay, here we go, here we go. It is not working. My shit is not working. Let's find out why. Stack of records. variables. It has the information in there. Okay, and then in our thing, get object I'm looking at. Let's see if it fires off. Oh, I'm dumb. Because I added in that feature is interactable. So hold on, let me get that value. And now on this, I need to add in variables, a bool value, that, and its input, and we'll say that yes. Actually, I'll put it over here. There we go. Now this should work. Let's select the player though. State, press play. Here we go. It doesn't turn off though when I move away. So if I look at it, it tells me the info on it, right? So it's those records. And the text is at least getting set. But I think the reset state is also where I need to turn the panel on or off. So reset, I should be just turning the whole panel off. Oh, reset is interactable, needs to get flipped. Set bool value is interactable, bool value gets set to that. Okay, now I should be able to look away and the whole panel will turn on and off. Have a delay in the activate function to deactivate if it's not recasing. No, that's not it. I just forgot to put in a bool value. Oh wait, what the fuck? Oh, there. What do you say? Have a delay in the activate function to deactivate if it's not raycasting. Oh, you know what's happening? This whole box, I forgot. I put a whole collider on these whole boxes. Okay, so it is working correctly. Okay, good. Because like I see these records as being split, but like there's a whole collider on all of them right there. So but then I move them away and it works. All right. Oh, but hang on. There is kind of that happens. That's interesting. So what I could do is in here put the so let me try to follow the logic here. It's getting that, and then the buffer, if it's not interactable, it goes to false. This can be like a little duct tapey, but I'm just going to put this in here at the top of this. And I'm just gonna change it to deactivate no matter what. I don't know if that's gonna fuck with me or not. Let's find out. Okay, that seems to solve the problem. Right. Okay. Good enough? Yeah, because every time it goes back to the raycast state, by default, like if it's in the raycast state, that means that there isn't hitting anything because it's storing it. It's only firing off that hit event if it hits something. So while it's there, the panel should always just be off. Okay, great, this works, nice. And now I have it templatized and I can fucking copy paste it for everything. Brilliant. How do you recommend on making an inventory in Playmaker? That is a great question, man. It depends on what kind of inventory system you're trying to make. Because for a while, for the past few weeks, I've been, honestly, it's been more than weeks. It's been like, it's probably pushing 2 months now. It's probably been like a month and a half of just researching all sorts of different types of inventory systems, doing all sorts of different tests and prototyping for inventory systems, because we're in the middle of making an inventory template package for Playmaker. But the one that I've settled on is a Minecraft inventory clone. Because personally, I think the Minecraft inventory is like one of my favorite all-time inventories. The intuitiveness of the left-click, right-click, holding shift, E and I, escape, like this combination of just all of like just how you would think everything would and should work in an inventory system is fucking brilliant. So we're in the middle of cloning the Minecraft inventory system for FSM templates. We're still not there yet. It's mostly functioning how we want it to, but the thing is we want to be able to deliver something to people that's like crazy generic with as few moving parts as possible. Yeah, it's very like, yeah, it's hard to distill something. It's hard to really refine something down to a super simple version of itself. So I'm sorry, I don't have the best answer for you right now. We're also in the middle of figuring it out ourselves. Just a bare bones inventory of de-equipping and equipping items. I don't know, like an array, just an array. And then you have like a, I don't know, when you grab something, you know, you have an FSM on the player that looks something like this. Like, let me see. Take a look at this really quick. Imagine on the player you have two states with global events or global transitions. Inventory space / add, and then inventory space inventory space / remove, right? And then you can right click here, add global transition, inventory, add global transition, inventory, remove, right? So this one would be add, and this one would be remove. And then you kind of set, you do like a array add, and you know, you say your variables game object, or no, array inventory, you know, pretend I spelled that right, object, right? You go this, and then you go this, object to add, and that's it, I think, or you know, something along those lines. So then what you do is, like, whenever you interact with an item and you do the grab function, you have it set the object to add variable here, and then you have it fire off this remove event. So imagine like this state exists somewhere else on your player, like on a different FSM. You would do like a set FSM game object, targeting that, you know, whatever the name of this one is, and then the variable will be object to add, and then you have like that, and then you do send event. Oops. Right? And then you do like whatever, object add or object remove. I think you get what I'm saying. That's pretty simple. I was thinking of custom scriptable objects. You can. There's like I said, there's so many ways to do it. I've been like playing with like 1,000,001 different ways to do inventory lately. In fact, I cannot wait. Hope maybe today I'll even be able to scratch the surface of the inventory system for Memories of a Spy, which is gonna be so fucking cool. I've seen some inventories like this, but I've never quite seen one like I plan on doing it. So I'm getting very excited on sharing that. Okay, so this whole system works, right, with our interactable information, interactable info FSM. That's great. What's up next? So interactable on world, interactable equipped. Some items can be equipped. Some items can be used without equipping, like phones and doors. Interactable equipped. You should add a spy base builder. It's not that kind of game, my man. It's not that kind of game. Some items have a function when equipped, like firing a gun or eating food. So adding into inventory, to add to inventory, grab the item you're holding. Okay. Okay. I think, object, let's expand on that template then. So this one, I'm just gonna make it into a template finally. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of these values for now. I'll leave is interactable on by default. Is it set in like a GTA 4 environment, like old America? It's kind of funny because GTA 4 was current when it came out. No, this game, it takes place much longer ago. How many years ago now? 60 years ago now. 1960s. Yeah. Show. Let me give you a tip for the weather in London. It's shit. I know. I've been like thinking it's gonna be fun drawing in a bunch of gray clouds when people are in London. So that'll be fun. Okay, we got our object info. I'm gonna keep this on top so I can see it. Is that gonna go away? What did I just do? Oh. Close this. Okay. Let me just squeeze this in like that. Maybe a little bit more. Like that. Okay. So on my object FSM, I have. All right. Well, I gotta go now. See you next week. All right. Cool. All right. I'll see you later, man. Get some good rest. You got a big week ahead of you. We got all of February coming up. February, we're barely kicking it off. What is it? It's like the 6th today. Big month. Name variables. This is where I want to go. So interact description 2. I should have called it use description. Fuck it. And we'll create a string called item. Ooh, shit. Item name. And that's an input variable. And then we'll have another string called description. And that'll be another input variable. And then we have the is grabbable bool. Oh no, we had is interactable, but now we need a bool for is grabbable, which is an input variable. Made it in time, sorta. What's up? Broken bones. What is going on? Why made it in time, sorta? It's 1 p.m. for me. God damn! Oh shit! Oh my god! How you doing? I'm in the middle of doing this object interaction template. So far so good, and the system works. I'm excited to see other items using it. Got an is grabbable bool. Container limit. Okay, so here's the thing, is I have not yet decided on whether or not this container limit should be with floats or with ints. If I use floats, I start getting into really messy territory because floats are just generally messy. You know, you can have some 1/1000th of a difference between something, and then like all the actions that like should make sense with it are like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Like fucking 0.9999999 sound like that doesn't sound like 1 to me. And it's like, shut up. Fucking 0.000001 difference, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I say sort of because I got an hour late. Oh, has it already been an hour? Fucking Christ. So the thing that I'm thinking about is I got these float actions. Let's pop some of these fucking bad boys in here. You know, I want to check out the float compare, because that's where the guff is going to come from. But you have this tolerance variable. So it says floats that look the same are often not exactly the same, so you often need to use a small tolerance. The small tolerance I'm considering is something along the lines of 0.4. That's if I want a system that will give me sort of like 50%, like half, 0.5 increments, you know? And you know, you just start getting into the Dewey Decimal System. Like, basically what I'm thinking, here's my train of thought, is like, if I use ints, then I need to know for sure what the smallest possible object value is and the biggest possible object value is from the beginning. Because if I get more than halfway through my game and then I go, uh-oh, there's this one item that, like, you know, if whatever, let's do an example. This pillow, if this pillow, I can't see myself, and maybe, let's do just webcam, like this. Okay, this pillow, if I gave this a rating of the object size, and I'm using an int value of 5, right? Then this book, you might suspect would be an item size value of like 1, maybe 2, right? So I should go with it. Maybe that has 5 of these. It's a really fast and easy fucking thing. Item size 5, item size 1. So this has 5 of these. But then what happens when I've been like, alright, this is probably the smallest thing, this is probably the biggest thing. Then I get into a point where I'm like, what about this? Shouldn't I be able to put like one of these here? Or like even two of these? You know? And then if this was the 1, this can't be 0. You know? So like, that'll be fucked. But then, if you use floating numbers, I feel like a fucking crazy person on this webcam now. But like, if I use floating numbers, you run into this whole you run into all this nonsense of like, well, first of all, you got the same problem. You have to think about it more. Like, I could still run into that problem, like, oh, whatever. But I always save myself from the decimal system style by just saying, all right, well, that was a 0.5, but now this other thing is a 0.4, and now that thing is a 0.3, and then if I really wanted to, I could be like, okay, well, that's a 0.29, and this other thing's a 0.28, and that just sounds so sloppy to me, especially if I use this tolerance, right? If I use this tolerance value, I'm gonna have to change my universal tolerance smaller and smaller every time I add something. So it might start off as something as like, oh, okay, the tolerance is about half, 0.5. But then it's like, oh, if I start making increments of like, there's a size value of 0.7, or no, there's a size value of 0.5 or 1.5, and then I change another one to 1.25, then I have to change this tolerance to reflect that 0.25 one. Because now it should be able to see the difference between 0.25 and 0.5. And now we're back at square one of like, did I look far enough ahead at how big the biggest object will be and how small the smallest object will be? You can barely hear me? Fuck. Hey, how's the process? Sorry. there isn't like a desktop audio feeding into this, right? It's just off my speakers, right? Like if I turn it down in real life, it just stops. If I turn it up. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Some users was playing and I couldn't hear you talking about the pillow. Shadow is light. Hey, how's the process? It's going good. It's going good. All I was saying about the pillow is that if it was a size 5 and the book was a size 1, I should be able to put 5 of the books into the pillow. But if later on I found out that like, oh, well, I want like a paperclip is smaller than my book. So, but the book is already a size 1, which is the smallest number. Then what do I make the paperclip? If I'm using integers, there's nothing smaller than 1, and I start having to go into negative territory. And that's just, you know, like you don't, it just, that starts getting so sloppy. Because you really want something that says like, if it is 0, that means it's, I mean, you know what? I could just make an is stashable bool. So first it would check, can you stash things inside of something? And it's a bool value. And if it's true, then it checks its number. And that way I could infinitely be making things bigger or smaller, even if they go into the negatives. Oh, wait, but then... Damn, but then I'm gonna have to start getting into really funky math when it comes to like if, yeah, no, you just start, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. How you doing, Shadows Light? How you been? I can imagine how bad you want to finish Memories of a Spy to move on to fun, wacky projects. As if Memories of a Spy isn't wacky enough. I can't tell if that was you doing a joke or not. Memories of a Spy is about as wacky as you get, as far as all the ideas I've had so far. Oh god, I don't know what this is. I do not want to listen to this. Oops. Do not want to listen to that. Okay, there we go. Been good so far. Right on. Yeah, so I don't know. This is really frustrating because it means I do have to. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Bounds? Is that what that shit's called? Fuck. Okay, hold on. I think I have an idea. Unity get bounds. I never really. An axis-aligned bounding box, or AAB for short, is a box aligned with the coordinate axis, fully enclosing some object. Right, it's the bounding box. It can be defined by just its center and extents, or alternatively by min and max points. I think there is. I have to wait a few minutes before I could try searching. God damn it. If I search like PlayMaker bounds, surprised because on the form there is 0 results for bound search. I'm writing here because PlayMaker Actions doesn't contain any way to use an editor. I was writing code for it. Okay. Can you show the code for custom action? Bounds is supported. I made plenty of actions using bound one way or another. Check out get client. Are there just vanilla ones in here? Am I tripping out? Bounds? No, there ain't no bounds in here. What about like size? Here we go. There's array list ones. Local axis aligned bounding box. Mesh target bound size, you can get that. That's local axis. Collider is visible. Get collider bounds. It could be based off of collider. That include children. Result center size. What would be interesting is to find out if something was comprised of multiple colliders, if it gets the bounds based on all of the combined colliders. Get collider bounds. I'm gonna get this one. We'll do some tests here. I'm trying to figure out what options I have as far as getting, because like, so before when I was doing the stash size thing, the problem with the stash size thing is that I would have to hard code, and I would hand author, right? Me as the designer, I would hand author the size of each thing. But if there was a way to systemically do it, right? To get the actual scale of a thing, and not just the scale up here, because this is very sort of, yeah, it's very, it's not uniform. But instead to use the collider bounds, or just the bounds of anything, perhaps the mesh even, if you can get the full bounds of a thing, and then base the capacity on the scale of that, then I wouldn't ever have to hand author anything, and even I could play my own game and be like, oh, that's small enough to fit in there, and it should fit, you know, or that's, you know, I could probably fit like 5 of these in there or something like that, you know. Dusty Wee, what's up? What's going on, Dusty Wee? How's it going? It's a fun one today. It's a fun one, or I think it's fun. These are the things I've been looking forward to doing. So I have get collider bounds. Is visible in camera, full strom, dynamic, okay, fighter camera, inside, local axis. Which one's this? Local axis aligned bounding box. Let's check out the GitHub. It says gets the bounds of a target mesh using a local transform. Typically, this allows you to know the bounding size in arbitrary directions. Okay. So the thing I'm unsure of here is like, if something is long, right? Like if something, like if you had a rope and it was very long, is that going to have a huge bounding size? And then it's like, you know, if you had a rope that was like 100 feet long, 100 meters long, whatever, it's like you shouldn't be able to fit a car in the rope, you know? So let's see, repeat every frame, typically it's okay, blah, blah, blah. And then what other options do we have? Local axis aligned bounding blocks. You know, I will get this one. Let's just get it, because we could horse around with some stuff. Fingers crossed that this provides a really super easy systemic solution. And I think that's it. Right, these are all the bounds ones that that look interesting. Okay. Add local nav mesh builder. Hold on, just curious. What's this? Add a local nav mesh builder component to a game object for local real-time nav mesh. Right. Nice, nice. Very cool. Very fucking cool. Okay. Don't need this float compare right now. Let's head over to variables, and I'm going to Open this up. Here we go. So the container limit is what I want. And what should happen is on the object FSM, the initialization state should include a way of getting the size of the object that it's on. So get collider bounds. What does this say? Check to activate, uncheck to deactivate game object. Warning, this may impact performances if ran every frame. I don't plan on doing that. Let's not include children. There is no children of these records anyway. So the result will, the extent of the box, this is always half of the size and then just the size. Okay, so I'm gonna say that this is the size. And what is that? It's a vector 3. Okay. So it would be nice to sort of systematically sort of like, that doesn't make too much sense though, because it's so relative, whether something is long or tall or wide or whatever. I could just make it so the bounding size of certain objects, like if you had a, how would you say this? So basically like mesh transform, but it could change its scale and runtime. No. I'm not trying to get, no, I don't want to be scaling or changing the mesh of anything. I literally just want it to give me a value. So for example, like let's run this right now and see what it gives me. Like see these records right here? I have this game object and it's you know, it's just a stack of vinyl records. And it's funny because this isn't the best example because it's like a bunch of little things, but just bear with me. You could see that kind of like if this was a box, right? Or should we actually just use something different? What can we use around here? See, but then you get into weird territory too of like the size of this thing. It's like however tall this little stool is, it wouldn't be that you put anything inside some, like, you know, like take this stool for example. Or this table and this stool, right? This table is bigger than this stool, but stashing a stool in here, I wouldn't really call that like stashing it in the stool. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, I wouldn't call this stashing a stool in a table. Like, yes, that's literally what's happening here, but like you can also just fucking see it. Like, it doesn't matter. What the thing that I would want to look for more is like actually putting it like in the part where it's like hidden, like it's inside this table. And then so similarly, you can imagine with this stool that if you wanted to hide something in it, you wouldn't really care about putting it in this empty area on the bottom, right? You would put it inside of the cushion part, like somewhere in there, in this part. And so I'd want to sort of suggest that that's where the stashy bit or the stashy section is. And so if I'm using this get collider bounds thing, it's gonna get the bounds of the whole damn thing. Unless every single thing I make a little collider for only the area where you stash the thing. Let's try it with the records. Here we go. We have the records. First state, get collider bounds, except instead of using the owner, we're gonna specify a game object. And I'm gonna create an empty, or actually, no. I'm gonna create a 3D object, a cube, and I'll scale this down. Oops. I'll call this the stash area or something like that, you know? I could change that later. And we'll say that it pretty much just goes like this. Put put it like right here, and I'll just make it a little bit wider, like that, and like that, like that. Okay, so that's kind of roughly the area that you should be able to stash things in. So in the actual records, I'll say you're getting the stash area, getting the bounds of that, and then you get the size of that, and then you fire off to the next state where you're just done. Okay, but this is the stash area. That's the size. So I'm gonna hit play just to see how this runs, if this fucking thing works. Okay. So it's 0.5, 0.3, and 0.7. Okay. Okay. And now we should be able to get things that are smaller than it and stash it in there. So for example, there's a record right here. And I'm gonna bring that over here. And this one, I'll say that it's fair to just assume that it has, if I add a component, I guess it would be a capsule collider, or let's just do a mesh collider, convex. I know it's not the most performant, like it's not super optimized, but it's all right. And now let's turn this FSM into a template. So I'm gonna do save template, and we'll call this, I'm gonna put it in here. We'll call this object. Yes, I wanna use it in here. And I'm gonna edit this. Category is going to be in objects. I don't know. State. It'll use a new variable that'll be called stash collider. And then I'll change that variable to an input as well, so we could just drag and drop shit in there. In this case, it's this one. Cool. And now in this record, we'll also give it use template, objects, object. And here we're gonna say it's not interactable, but it's grabbable. And its stash collider is itself. Okay. So should be able to hit play and get a smaller value out of the record than the stash of records. 0.5, 0.5, and 0 versus 0.5, 0.3, and 7. So I think, and 0.7. So I think that makes sense, because it is like, yeah, those are as wide and about as wide and tall as the record. Admittedly, I made it shorter than the records, right? So that's expected, that's fine. But then they are, of course, sort of thicker, right, longer than the record, because the record's flat, and that is a whole stack of records. So it is about 7 times as long, you know, basically more than that, but so that kind of works out. And so what you would have to do is make sure that each of those, like, is there a vector 3 compare? Because I wonder if it's, you might have to do float compares for each vector value and ensure that the item that you're stashing, that none of its vectors, none of the axes dimensions exceed the axes dimensions of the object you're trying to stash it inside of. And that fucking works. Okay, nice. So, I like it. I think that works. The only place I could see this getting a little tricky is when I'm actually creating those bounding boxes for the things. Sometimes I use the mesh itself, sometimes I might have to make a special one for it, because the thing about bounds is that if you took a box, just a cube, and you got the bounds of it when it is just straight on all axes, it's actually different from if you rotated the cube into like a diamond-y shape, and then you got the bounding box. It sounds insane, but it's a kind of a confusing thing. Good job. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Okay, so, and this is nice and templatized now, so I can literally just copy paste that template on it and then give them their own values. So I can do it for prefabs and everything. Let's go. Okay, so what I guess I have to do a test, right? So I should implement some type of interactability for the player so I can actually grab a thing and then stash it inside of it. What is that value called? It's just size, right? Let's change it, edit variable, and it's gonna be called size size v3. Yeah. I'm gonna call it an output just so we could see it. It's not to be tampered with, but it's nice to be able to see it when you just click on an object over here. Cool. And then we could do all the calculations for the individual axes, individual dimensions on the player. We don't have to do it here. Okay. Cool. So let's get the player, and we'll make a new, well, okay, we have interact, which just sends an interact thing. But sometimes you're holding something, so interact does need to change to reflect this. Okay. I've built this before. I'm gonna build it again. So you have initialization, you have wait for action. I'm gonna call this wait for input. Okay, and then you get the object and you interact with it. But this wait for input should be that if you're holding it, how the fuck did I build the other one? I did it so if you tap something, oh, you know what my old input was? My old input was that if you hit E on something, that you just pick it up. And then if you hold E, you add it to your inventory, right? Is that what the old system was? Do I have to open up my old project? I shouldn't have to. I could just don't look to the past. Look forward only. Just looking forward. So what I want is, let's take a look at what I wrote. Because this all here, this Trello shit, this is where a majority of the work goes. That's why I could blaze through just signing these templates, because the logic is already filled out. This is where most of the work happens. And since I spent so much time here, this is the roadmap that I should be following. So you press E to interact with the object in front of you. Okay. Not all items have a function, like a gun sitting in front of you will do nothing, right? So that's what that does. It waits for the input, gets the object, and if it hits something, then it goes to the next thing to interact. But that's not necessarily interactable. So what it has to do first is come to a state right here called check is interactable. Okay, and it gets FSM bool, and then it does a bool test. Okay, so the object we're getting from is the one that we hit, and the FSM name is going to be called object. The variable name is called is interactable, and we're going to be storing that locally on our own variable is interactable. We test that bool, and if it's true, and if it's false, okay. If it's true, then we can go down and do this. But if it's false, then we go here. And something that is interactable is like a door. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, no, I think this still checks out. This still checks out because I have a few examples in mind. So like if it's a door and it's interactable, then yeah, we go here and we say interact and it opens the door and then it sends back around. And then there's a hold state for that. But if it's not interactable, like a gun, right? If a gun is just sitting there, it's not like you go there and poke the trigger and then it shoots. You have to hold the gun. You have to equip it to shoot it. It's not like you go over there and like press the photo button on the camera like it's just sitting there on the table and you press the photo button. Like, no, you pick up the camera, you're holding it, and now you take a picture with it. So if is interactable, interactable suggests basically, can this thing do something without equipping it? That is the, in fact, if I go to variables, is interactable, and my tooltip, the question is, can this object do something without being equipped? Okay, that's what it's looking for. So if I hover my mouse over this, right, or store value, where does that tooltip come in? Is it just for me in there? I always wonder where the hell this shows up. Tooltip visible when rolling over the variable. Yeah, but I don't see no tooltip on that. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's only in your variables tab. Can this object do something without being equipped? Cool. Hey, Steven, I've been banging my head against the wall about something. Can I leave you the question on Discord? You can just reply when you have time. Yeah, if you don't mind, share it. Ask the question in the Unity help channel in the public Discord, because perhaps if it's a problem that can be overcome, that maybe other people might run into, that it could be helpful to other people who might come into that down the line, and that way they could just search the Discord for search terms. Otherwise, if you'd prefer not to, if it's something that's just more private, like you're trying not to spoil something about your game or whatever, then yeah, you could DM me. So is interactable, great, right? Sends here. If it's false, it's not interactable. We'll try that. Asked on the forums, no luck. Okay, right on. What did I have this little snack plate I'm gonna grab really quick. Got some cheeses and some crackers. Ah, yes. The delicacies of plain food. You guys remember when I used to snack and eat on stream all the time? Back to it, baby. I have a little intense dark sea salt soiree. Dark chocolate with sea salt and roasted almonds, which I cannot have. Okay. So if it's not interactable, then I'm gonna check is grabbable. Oh, get FSM bool. And a bool test. right? Checking the object hit. FSM name, object, variable name is grabbable. And then we're checking in our local. So it's getting that. If it's true, it's true. And if it's false, it's false. Gotta get them nutrients. Cheese, grapes, crackers. What can you ask for? Okay. Checks is grabbable. And if it's false, then you go back here and you wait for input. It's just fucking nothing. But if it's true, then what? If it is grabbable, and you continue to hold the interact button, you should only be able to grab things by holding, right? Or if it's not interactable, but it is grabbable, do you just let the player pick it up by like tapping? Right? Maybe you let them just grab it. Why would you have to keep holding if that's like its only function, if the only thing you can do with it? Right? What else would you do? So you just grab it. Grab item. Or grab object, rather. Let's keep our syntax in order. Grab object. Yeah. So what does that mean? You do a move towards. You say that you want the object hit to move towards your holding or object holder. Edit variable. Let's make that an input so I can just drag and drop it. And excuse me, gonna remove those. Max speed. Let's say yeah, that's fine. Finish distance will be 0.1. And then when it does do that, I'm also thinking maybe I was thinking about parenting it before, after, but now I'm thinking about parenting it before. So you don't have some like item, like if you grab an item, like you begin the grabbing process, but then start running away from it. So you can run away from an item that's like constantly being like, no, let me be in your hands, you know? So what if you just like set the object hit to the object holder. Yeah, world position stays, and then you do the move towards. Right? And then on finish event, next. So now you're holding an item. And I think you want to be somewhere. Okay, so I think, yeah, you would have to wait for another input. I'm gonna change, by the way, I'm not using this get key down forever. I'm gonna change this shit, but I'm just using it right now because I don't want to have to go through all this fucking input manager shit. So if I press it again, I'll call this state holding object, right? And then it'll come up here to drop object. Or what you could do is get mouse, come on, mouse down. Oh, why am I so dyslexic right now? Mouse down. If you do left click, that should add it to your inventory. Send event, custom events, new event. We'll do inventory / add add held to inventory. I guess you could just inventory add. That's fine. Let's do this. And then in here, you do a right click, and this one will have a new event, inventory space / space. Oh no, it's not even inventory. This one will just be I can call this transform space / space rotate. Okay, so this one is add to inventory. This one is rotate object. And what I want in here is another right click. Oh no, sorry. Mouse up for right. Send the event back. It'll send back here. And then you have a mouse look, I believe. Sensitivity will be 1 and 1. Change these to none. And the object we're rotating is the object hit. Holy smokes. Okay, and dropping object will do set parent of the object hit to nothing. Okay. So all the whole gravity, kinematic, and all that shit, I'll put it in a second, but let's just see if this works. Oh boy, I hope this works. I'm using enter for now, because I'm left-handed. Player interact, so it's checking for is interactable and is grabbable. So I just have to make sure that that's actually in here. Is interactable, is grabbable. Okay, and specifically for my vinyl record, it's grabbable, but it's not interactable. Let's give it a go. Okay, so I come over to my record. It's not really working. Why not? Temp player, Oh, I didn't set the object holder. Duh. Main camera, focus up on it. Add a new empty, call it object holder, and just scooch it out in front of me like that. So in there, I'll drag and drop this in here. Object holder. Okay. Now let's observe. Okay. Got it. And if I right click, I can rotate it. Oh, but you know what? It's funny. I need to freeze the character, the player rotation. Because right now, you have to look around while you do this. But it more or less works. Okay, so I'll just add that really quick. Let's just see how that works out. Player interact, rotate object. Let's do... and enable FSM. You know, I'm never sure when to use enable FSMs versus sending an event that would turn an FSM off, right? Like a state that just says off. But I think look is a harmless enough one to do. Call this look. We're going to disable it, but reset on exit. Okay. Let's see. Grab it and right click. Yep. Cool. Nice, nice, nice. Very, very nice. And if I let go, I'm back to just holding it. And if I press enter, I just drop it again. Cool. I go over here, grab it. Oops, grab it. Ah, drop object doesn't go back. Forgot. Okay, and we'll just do a next frame event in here, which will be custom events, back to start. And add we'll do the same over here. Add to inventory. I don't know what I want to do with add to inventory just yet, because there's a very funky inventory system I have plans for. And yeah, so wait for input. It should be back here basically. Global transition, back to start. Okay, so that should let me grab things, pick them up, drop them, rotate them. Okay, grab the record, rotate it around. Ah, yes. Very nice, very cool, very cool, very cool. And then if I let go, holding it there, and if I press enter, could drop it. If I press enter again, grabs it. Okay, could leave it up here, great. It's like, oh, I'm gonna put this record back. Let's see. Let's slip it in right there. Nice. Okay. Oh, I love it. These are the fun bits. These are the fun bits. So cheesy. Okay. What's up next? Interact is already a thing because I send interact events. What if it is interactable and you can pick it up, right? Like a phone. Like a phone is sitting there. I can hit E to interact, and it'll bring up the menu. Or I can hold E and pick up the phone, like grab the actual phone to do something with it. Like I can even like take a phone, you know, add it to my inventory. Oop. I lost my mind and like fucking just ran into. I didn't lose my mind. I think the stream is probably there. I don't remember too much, but I just remember having a super complicated system. Not like super complicated, but there's like a lot of states. It looked kind of messy. There's a lot of bool tests and shit. And I think it was because back when I used to program shit, I used to use bool tests in replacing. I would replace sending events with bool tests. And the way you could do that is like, let's see, let's minimize some of this nonsense. Like if I make a empty here. So one way I was doing like, you know, if you just send an event to something, if I added a transition, custom events, interact event, right? So it's like, here is this thing idling, and then here is like, well, like radio off, and then radio on. That's how I would do it now. The player sends a raycast, gets the object, and then sends an event to that object, the interact event. And it would just fire off this event, and now it turns the radio on. That's how you fucking should do it. But what I used to do was I would have a state with a bool test for like interacted, and it'd be running every frame, and it would be only for a true that it would send off to the next thing. You see, so like this is the same system, like if this was my start state, except what I would be doing is instead of sending an interact event, I was setting a bool value. But what that means is that after you set that bool value, you need to reset it. And there's all this bullshit that gets wrapped up in like setting and resetting, and whether you interacted with something, if it's on or off, and it's like no, what you want is just something that just that fires off. That's how you should do it. So it feels good looking at this interact FSM, and that it's a template too, and just like, yes, there's a lot going on here in way fewer states with way less, just it's more elegant. And the thing is, like, elegance isn't just about like, ooh, it's fucking pretty, and like, ooh, how smart I am or whatever. Like, it's honestly more about how dumb I am and how dumb you are, how dumb we all are. Elegance is about being able to reduce the amount of things that you have to keep in short-term memory in order to understand the system in front of you. And so an elegant system has fewer moving parts, the least amount of moving parts as possible, because redundancies and sort of, superfluities, is that a word? Superfluous? How do you have the superfluous? So can you do superfluicity? Superfluity? How do you say that? Superfluity? Unnecessary or excessively large amount of number of something. Yeah. Superfluity? Yeah. Because a superfluity of things. will get even the smartest of people wasting their time navigating that system when designing it. Okay. Nice. It's very satisfying when you get something to work properly. It is. Feels great. I don't know how old that comment is. I feel like I didn't see it earlier. But yeah, very satisfying. So right now, the thing is, we should be able to pick up things that are even interactable. So if you can interact with it, you don't immediately do the interact event thing. And instead, what you wait for is you check if the player has already released the interact button. And if they have, then just do whatever the interact thing is. But if they're still holding it, then wait in that state and let the wait state take you to the grab stuff. So we could put all of this stuff in a, yeah. Down here, I'll get rid of this finished transition. And this one we'll call tap or hold. And we'll have a get key up. And the key was, it's enter, right? Send event. I'm gonna call some new things like input slash tap. Right, so if you've already let go of enter, then it sends back. No, it keeps going forward to interact. But you have a wait state in here. Sorry, a wait action that waits half a second, 0.5, and this one do new event input space that's such a mouthful every time, space input hold, put it up here, and then it goes here, and that's already all done for us. And then interact at the very end here, let's just put in a next frame event that sends us back to start. Cool. So now things that are both interactable and grabbable, like a phone. So let's do a quick test. What's a good test? Like a lamp, right? So let's go to Berlin. Berlin, let's go to the hotel and let's minimize this, grab the temp player object, align with view, okay. And let's just change this rotation back to that. Dude, okay, have I been listening to this fucking trash the whole time? Okay. Let's check out some of the genres really quick. Jazz? Where did jazz at? traditional jazz. Let's do high tempo stuff. Popular. Oh. Fine. Not crazy about it, but whatever. I've done that with bulls a couple of times. Guess I'll stop. It's not bad. It's not like I don't think like using that system I think is probably good for I don't know. There's definitely cases where you would want to do that. I think. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's cases where you don't do that. But now you know, right? Like that sending an event is probably a preferable method. Global events. Mwah! Love them. Okay. So our player, let's put him, almost choked on cheese. Let's put him in front of these plants. I mean, sorry, in front of this lamp. Lampin'. Okay. And let's get this lamp. Grab it. Is that just a lamp? No. This is the lamp, and it's called cylinder. Okay. Whatever, I'm just gonna keep it called cylinder for now. We're gonna add a component to it, an FSM. Will be... this will just be... Do I have a light? I'm gonna call this lamp, whatever. No, you know what it is? It's light. Lamp, light. Okay. Because I think I'm gonna want to turn this into a template as well. Objects, no category, doors, elevators, objects, photon debug. Okay, so this light, there's gonna be two FSMs on it. The first one is going to be a template, objects, object. Okay, and it's called object. And inside of it though, what we need is an interact event, right? It should send to, is that what my design was? Let me see. Object FSM template. FSM specific to this item's function. So item template is a proxy for the interact event stuff. Right. So item unique, you know, right. I think I remember this. Adding to inventory, HUD, description. Okay, yeah. So this does have add a global or add a transition, custom events, interact event. Okay, and we'll call this standby. And then we'll call this send interaction. And you have a send event in here that targets the game object FSM that's on this owner. And the FSM name though is a new variable that we'll call object specific FSM. Okay, and then you make that into an input. Oh my god, I'm gonna upload so many of these fucking templates to the ecosystem for people to use. I think, or I'll make some version of them because these are nice and generic, and it is just like, I love it. So it's sending to that, right? And what it's sending is the interact event. And then it sends back here to wait for that again. That's all it does. That is chef's motherfucking kiss. You go to the light, and then in here, you add a interact event. So it's two layers. It's a proxy. But that way, at least there is some uniformity to all objects. Yes, love this shit. Okay, so in this light, this will be called light off. And we'll call this one light on. And you may even want to set a start state. I don't know why, but just have an initialization in here. Maybe you don't even need it, but whatever. Light on, and then add another transition that sends back. Okay, so light off. Oh, you know what you do for initialization? You don't add a finished event. You do a bool test. Shit. The thing is, my lights go on a... I'll just have to add... I'm gonna change this shit later, I think. We'll see. There's probably gonna have to be a difference between my lights, because lights like this, they don't just turn on magically. NPCs have to go over to them and turn them on. But lights out in the street are... that is on a timer. Those sort of magically get set by the city. Okay, but still. So bool test, new variable. What you could do is on, and you can have a true and a false. And if it's false, then it goes here, and if it's true, it goes here. And then you edit this variable, and you just make it an input, and you could set it, you know, you could set it by hand. But it can also be dynamically updated. So light off, what we'll have is set light intensity for an object called light game object. And this is also an input variable. And the light intensity should be 0. And then you copy this, paste it in here, and you set this to 1. Or you set this to the on intensity. Okay, and just by default, it'll be 1. Oh, I fucking love templates, man. Holy shit, templates are such a game changer. Oh god, dude. I mean, I used templates in the old versions, but not like this. I had such a different idea. I was basically only using them for like run FSM shit. Oh man, this makes life so much easier and so much more fun. Okay, so you have that. This should just work basically. This object, the object specific FSM is called light. By the way, I will turn this into a template now. Save template. And we'll call this light. Yes. And we'll categorize it in objects. Right, like I think... Oh, it's has an S. There we go. Light and objects. Great. Fucking nice. Oh, you know what we are missing though? When you're in here, you do set bool value. Oh wait. Yeah, you set bool value is on. And then here you set it as off. Okay. Nice. Alex is so amazing. Holy shit, he made such a crazy good tool. Oh my god. And the team at Unity. But Alex was like, is the creme de la creme. for the Unity game engine. Okay, this should just work, I think. Well, let me put a collider on this fucking lamp. Oh, and the light, right? The point light. There, now it's in there. We'll say it's on by default. And what is the light intensity I have set for it right now? Is 77.29. So maybe where is it? Did I not change that? On intensity? Where the fuck is it? How come it isn't? Did I not? Oh, here we go. On intensity is 77. Let's just put it like that. Templates are so cool. And then I'm just gonna put a fucking box collider on this thing for now, because fuck you, that's why. Alright. So this is a thing. The object is grabbable and interactable. The item name is hotel lamp. Interact description 1 for just tapping it is on off. What's cool is the light could maybe, no, that's fine. And then interact, yeah, like this light FSM could maybe dynamically change this description. So when it's off, it'll say on, and when it's on, it'll say off. Interact description 2 is grab, and description doesn't even matter right now. Stash collider, we'll do that in a second. I think that looks good to me. Let's try it. Oh, but you know what? Hold on. Okay. Let's make this nice and big. This giant panel. Okay, whatever. So if I just tap it, oh. You know what? Look how fast it goes back and forth between these events. It only stays on. So what I need to do is in here, let's see. Actually, I could just do it in the object one. In here, the send interaction, instead of a finished one, we'll have a next frame event. So it gives it a frame buffer. We'll just call this back like that. So it at least has a buffer. Right? And then any object specific one might choose to have its additional buffer. Okay, so back to it. Oh, this is so fun, Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh. Why does it always sticks over here, huh? Am I really still hitting it that fast? Does this need a buffer too? Maybe the light even needs a buffer. Okay, maybe something like that. Kind of removes some of the elegance, but fuck it. But forget about it. Is that gonna fix it? I feel like the other way should have fixed it. Now it makes me think that this isn't gonna work. The other way should have been... Huh, okay. Alright, so you could turn it on and off, but if I hold it, I could pick it up. Woo! What if I... Right. Okay, so let me add a rigid body on that really quick, and we'll get a real taste of how it should work. That is, yes, that is how fucking object interaction system should be working. The thing I'm thinking of though right now is that I'm gonna need to go into object. No, I'm sorry. Into the player interact, and then check is grabbable. And if it is grabbable, what I need to do is set is kinematic to true over here, and then drop object, I set it to false. I'm not sure if gravity is a thing. Use gravity. We'll see. Let's see if I can get away with just kinematic. I feel like it's still gonna need use gravity. Oh. Oh, right. That makes sense. Okay. And if I grab it, right, it kind of like follows me. Yeah. Okay, so I need to turn off gravity. Grab object, so use gravity. Oh, no. Sorry, set gravity. Wait. Set whether game objects. Okay, that's what I want. Use gravity. Oh. I'm dumb. Wait, hold on. Let me try this one more time. The object hit. I forgot to change that. I still have a feeling that I'm gonna need to do the gravity thing, but let's check if I can get away with this. Okay, yeah, you could just do kinematic. So then I could drop it, and I could turn it on, and then I could grab it, and I could walk around with it like this. And now I have like a little torch I could walk around with. Dynamically updated. Right? Nice. Oh, you guys want to see the elevator? Check it out. See this? See that up there? Ground level. Boop. Oh wait, did I may have broke it before the last time. Never mind, not so exciting anymore. Did I not do it? Oh, but also that button, you know what? The button didn't, that's when I was using, maybe it does still work. And my player interact is not the problem. The problem is this button. Gizmos, just grab the button. And then in here, because it's looking, this is before I added my object interaction system, so that's okay, I think, right? Shit happens, yes it does, I'm not even gonna fuck with this now, but it is cool. The elevator system mostly works. You can call it on any floor, and this dial dynamically updates for it, and it's a template, so this dial will be different for like I didn't have to hand position where the dial would end up for each floor. Instead, it just gets the amount of floors and then divides it by 180 degrees. So if this is the starting point and this is 180, if this is 0 and that's 180, then it divides that between, this building has 7 floors, so it divides that between 7, which is increments of around 25. And then it makes those increments depending on which floor it's going to. So that means that I can copy and paste that template onto other buildings with different amounts of floors, and when I give the template to its little dial thing, it'll also automatically sort of make that same, it'll do that same process. It'll divide the amount of floors by 180. So if there's like 3 floors, it'll go like, this is ground level, this is floor 2, and this is 3. But on this 7-floor building, it's like floor 4 is like right here, and floor 7 is right here. I love templates. I just, oh my God, I've been nerding out so hard on them. It all started just because like, I was like, oh, we should have more on the ecosystem. And then I was like, I should just be using this more for all my projects to begin with. And then, yeah. Anyways, let's get back to this thing. So, let me turn off the sun. Directional light off. Okay. And I just want to walk around with my lamp really quick. This is so cool. Okay. Oh. Grab it, that's right. And then I could rotate it. You know what is a little annoying is in this canvas, the panel, I'm just gonna do this for right now. Like, fuck it, okay. So see, that's cool, is like, oh wait, oh, it's not dropping it now. What did I do? Oh, I added to I accidentally did something to add it to inventory, fuck. Okay. While I'm here, I'm just gonna change this panel to that. And this text maybe. Is there a way to do like a stroke, an outline in here? Extra settings. Material preset, drop shadow outline. Here we go. Nice. I'll make it bold. Oh, outline is only giving me the shape of it, huh? Okay. Text style, quote, cool. Whatever. Let's give this a little run. All right, could pick it up. Oh no, sorry. Grab it like that, rotate it. All right. Just walking through the city with this really powerful lamp. It's a very bright lamp. Bringing my lamp into the movie theater. Oh, I can't get through this door. Hold on. Drop it. Ah, I can't open the door because it's my old interaction system. No. Oh, I can sneak through the walls though, because the walls don't have colliders. Grab my lamp. Actually, let me turn it on, then grab my lamp. And let's hold it up like this. Let's walk through this wall and go into the movie theater. Hey guys, just looking for a seat. Don't mind me. I'm gonna put that down, turn it off. Come over here in the back row. Have a seat and watch this movie. Ah, yes. Just catching a movie at my movie theater. My favorite movie, the silhouette of a car in front of a movie theater that isn't the one I'm sitting at, that's for sure. I'm also stoked on this. This is in case you didn't know, this is a dynamically, or a procedurally generated movie. Quote unquote procedurally generated. I plan on making a slightly more convoluted, and yes, I mean convoluted system, to create procedurally generated movies, so you could show up at this theater and get something a little different every time, depending on what the name of the movie is, and like, or not depending on, but like, you know, the procedurally generated aspects will be the actors in it, their appearance, the setting, the names. I don't know if I'm gonna have dialogue in the movies just yet. It might just be like music and sound effects. And what else? I don't know. I'm gonna go turn on this lamp again. That's dope. Turn it on. You can't even see. Oh, actually, can you? Let's see. Let's see what happens when you. I think it's a close-up of the car in silhouette, right? Yeah. So I'm just waiting for the camera to zoom out. There we go. So if I turn this lamp on, yeah, you can still see the projector a little bit. Nice. How rude to turn your lamp on in the middle of a theater. But I can also pick up my lamp and just get out of here. And look at that. It's silhouetted by the projection of the screen. I'm sorry, it's rim lit by the projection of the screen. See, it's lit by the screen. Okay, just gonna go outside. I'll take you to, oh no, I guess taking you to hell, fuck. All right, I was gonna take you to the bar. Okay, so let's check out what's next. I can't believe how much I'm getting done. In fact, how long have I been streaming for? Might I call it a day for streaming right now? I mean, I'm having fun. What are we at? 2.5 hours? We can keep going. Let me get some water. Okay. So, what do we got? What do we got? Got press E to interact with the object in front of you. Press E to either pick up or secondary interact with the object in front of you. Doors can't be picked up. Right. Gun can be picked up. Phone can be picked up. Right. We could do that now. Now holding something, you can left click to throw it. I'm getting rid of. Should I keep that? Because I just changed left click to stashing it into an inventory. Or you can hold right click to rotate it. And while holding right click, you can then tap left click, which opens up the inventory menu. So maybe that's, I don't know, what sounds better is like you're holding the item and you press right click to rotate it. And then while you're holding right click, if you press left click, that'll add to your inventory. Or is it that if you just left click while you're holding it, it adds to your inventory? Or if you left click, you can add it to inventory, or hold left click. That's what it should be. Hold left click to throw, tap left click to add to inventory. Or is it the other way around? What's more intentional? I think if you're throwing something, like, because I can see both situations. If you're in a scramble and you're trying to grab something and add it to your inventory super quick, you want to just be able to tap it. You don't want to have to hold. But also, I can equally imagine you wanting to throw you're in a scramble and you want to throw something. You don't want to have to hold it for that second to throw it. But it does make more sense to hold the throw, because you can almost imagine yourself like, so that's kind of like throwing. So hold to throw. That makes sense. Let's do it. Picking it up is more intentional. Picking it up is definitely the intentional part. Adding it to the inventory, because adding it to inventory is like, right? You just put it on your person, tuck it under your arm, put it in your pocket, put it in your back pocket, shove it up your ass. And I am very serious about shoving it up your ass. Throwing it, there is that delay. And what did I think Brendan Chung uses that, right? Hold to throw, hold to pick up. I could, well, when you are holding it though, I think it is hold to throw. My thoughts exactly on the throw. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what you do. I'm pretty sure, I feel good about that. I feel good about that. Okay, so, player, and then in the interactive SM, instead of add to inventory, if you're holding object, what I'm gonna do is get mouse down left. I'll call this input hold. Actually, no, delete that transition. Delete the inventory add. It's input tap at first. You do that, goes to this one. And tap is add to inventory. What did I call this one? Little tap? Oh, it's asking for tap. So that's the thing, is like, this isn't add to inventory yet. It's tap or hold to. And then I have that same logic in here. So I'll put like a wait state, a wait action, right? So that means that you held and you go this way, or you do a left mouse button up, left mouse button up. Mouse button up left, send event, input, tap. Okay, so it goes like this and this. Okay, so then in holding it, you're throwing, and in tapping it, you are add to inventory. Oh, I am so proud of this right now. I am so fucking proud of this system. Okay. This is clean. This is so clean. Oh my god. Okay. Throw. You do like add force on the object hit. Force mode, space, self. Oh, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do a transform. Transform direction gets a direction from a game object's local space. Transforms a direction from a game object's local space to world space, right? That's what I want. So I get here, and I get it from the camera, so player camera, local direction, forward and Z, store the result in look direction, and look direction, there we go. Except the throw velocity will say, I mean the throw whatever, let's say it's 20. I don't know how intense that's gonna be, but force mode will do impulse. I think that's kind of one of the, that's like the standard one where it's just like, should I just try throwing something first? Oh, I should unparent it as well. Set parent. Oh, and I have to turn I basically have to do all the shit that drop has. So drop object, I'll do this, copy these, and put it right before throw, or right before these things in throw. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Let's try that. Press play. So I grab it and then I throw it. It feels so good. Feels so good. Let's do it again. Okay. Oh, I just turned it off and on. Okay. Just rotating it around. Let's see. I'm gonna throw it like this. Or actually, yeah, I'll throw it like this. All right, let's throw it this way. It's so fucking bright. That's so funny. Let's turn it off. Wait, how come? Ooh, look at that. Is it because, yeah, I'm stuck in throw. Okay, cool. Nice, this is fucking good. My thoughts exactly on the throw, I guess. Did I update this? Oh yeah, okay. So drop object, we get this next frame event. And let's put it down here. Okay, ooh, that means up next is add to inventory. I'm excited. This is getting easier, holy shit. Oh. Okay. What am I trying to do here? I could go back to the stashing thing, right? Should we try the stashing thing? Should I put like a box in here somewhere? And it's like, or what do we have? What kind of things can we stash in here? We have this plant, we have a lamp, we have the couch. Is there anything like small I can stash? I don't have any like items around here. There is a beer glass in here somewhere. Maybe we could do that. You know, maybe we go to Paris for this. Maybe we go to Paris for this. So let me project settings. Get turn this back on, this back on. Turn that back on. And we're gonna go to Paris. Let's go to Le Café Oubli. Okay. And let's put the player right here. Temp player. Aligned with view. Yep. Okay. And let's just change the rotation. Cool. And does this have a collider on it, or I'm just gonna drop through the world? Add component box or mesh collider. Should I try that? Convex. These are some lazy collider solutions I'm doing right now. Definitely not advised. But it works well enough right now. Is the floor a separate game object? It is not. This whole damn thing is a... Alright, well, is this floor big enough? Or does the floor stop? I'll drop through there if I try walking through it. Because I'm thinking of like the tests I want to run. If we're stashing things inside of things, I'm like, oh, can you put this eclair in this cash register? Oh, wait a minute. Stashing things. Here's some interesting logic stuff. Is stashing something in my current like my current plans of all this shit would be that you can have a separate screen, kind of definitely just UI-ish kind of setup, where you can, when you add something to inventory or when you're stashing things, it's like you get to compare two things. So it's kind of like you can only stash things that are in inventory. Fuse says, I'm back, bitches! Yo, what time is it where you're at? 10:50 p.m. I thought it was much later for you earlier. How long are you streaming? Because I can stay for another hour plus. Yeah, I mean, I'm over here. I'm just getting started, baby. Gotta, you know, just I'm trying. I don't know if this is the problem I'm trying to solve right now. Is like, I have. God, this is so crazy. Right now, I can only stash items that are like equipable, basically. Like, is grabbable actually means is equipable. That's what it should mean. But you should also be able to stash things inside of non-equipable things. Like, for example, you can't equip this cash register, right? This cash register is just in the world right there. You should probably be able to pick it up and throw it around and shit, but you can't, like, you can't equip it. So if I stashed something in here, let me see, let me look at my, I'm gonna have a crack at the inventory. Nice, 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 nice. Shit. Right, because we do the thing where we get the bounds. It compares the float value of each axis to make sure it's within the size of it. That's fine. But the actual input of it, how the player interfaces with stashing, might have to be mapped to a different key, which is kind of a bummer. Just a little bit of a bummer. I really wanted to do an interact system that was just comprised of like E, left click, right click. I'm using the input system, but right now, like I haven't set up any of the input modules, like input system actions, because yeah, I'm just fucking with like get key down, get mouse down, and all that right now. I'll change all of my input system later. Just because it's not as fast to work with. You have to constantly select your assets and shit like that. So do I make a key? Like if I was playing this game, what key might I use to stash things? If I'm playing, E is already taken for that. And we've already seen that that your interact key is a tap or a hold, which usually means like a use or a pickup. And that needs to be like that. Maybe if you're holding an item, you can hold your inventory key to stash it somewhere. Because maybe holding your inventory key is a way of putting things in and pulling things out. And tapping your inventory key opens the inventory. So a tap opens the actual inventory menu where you could do any sort of stashing and inventory, other inventory related stuff, like there in the little interface. Or if you hold, like if I was for inventory, Tab, yeah, tab 2. I mean, whatever the key is, I'm just like, I guess I'm thinking in terms of like, what are, I don't particularly care which key it is, like specifically, you know, like, because for example, right now I keep saying E to use, but I'm left-handed, and actually I just keep pressing enter. Like, I've been mapping it to enter this whole time because, like, yeah, I'm left-handed, and that's what my E is. But later down the line, what I would like is just kind of like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I want to use pre-existing video game grammar. So obviously like WASD, right? That, like, I wouldn't ever use WASD for anything fucking else except for moving my player. My mouse is going to have the player look around. And then interacting with objects, of course, this whole time is left click, right click, and E, right? Those are your three button keys, whatever, that you use in most video games to interact with things. So yeah, tab or I, whatever it is, doesn't matter, but I just want to make sure that there's a key that people are used to using for inventory. And not for something else. Like, for example, because kind of what I mean by that is some games you might expect the inventory to be in your pause menu, because for some games you have to pause the game to look at all of your menu shit, right? And I'm as much as I'm thinking ahead of other parts of the game I'm going to be designing, it's hard to say that with much confidence that like I don't think I'd want to put my inventory in my pause menu. You know, because every decision you make like this is painting yourself into a corner. That means everything I choose to do is now removing an option for me in the future, you know? So I have to be very, very choosy about how the input that's why this whole fucking document exists. So I guess maybe what I should do is go through here and try to figure out, I have object interaction, interpersonal interaction. I think that's fine. Yeah, I think people can use I and tab or whatever. And I think, right, in games, you only ever tap your inventory key, right? I know it sounds stupid, but do left-hand people have the opposite keyboard? Example, enters on the left. I don't know. That's a good question. I've honestly just made do with... oh wait, what did I write for the inventory? Okay, that's just the whole thing. Because of the, okay, pickpocketing. Okay, hold on. Grabbing and adding items to inventory will quickly bring up the 3D inventory view for you to quickly click where the person is. Okay, inventory menu is a 3D model of the player. You can strap items to the body, blah, blah, blah. This is all clicking. It's a different interface. It's fine. Clothing's type of character for you to put pockets, whatever. Everything has 3D set representation, even money and forging tools. You should be able to use your extract, okay, to cut rope, for example. Because of stashing other things in other people and pickpocketing, the inventory system should be built to interact with because of stashing things in other people and pickpocketing, the inventory system should be built to interact with that. Exactly. Okay, this is what I was worried about. So you would either put or pull something from specific inventory slots on other characters, but only from their top layer clothes, like pants pockets. To get items from deeper layers, you need to actually undress them down to that part. That means taking clothes off would come with the items in those clothes. Like taking the pants off of somebody would also give you the pants items that they had stashed into their pockets, which implies pockets should also have stash sizes. Holy shit. Undress their underwear. Yeah, I mean, it's like, and I want that. I really, really want that. It's so important. Look at all these masks I have. Jesus Christ. 3 masks in my pocket. So the question is like, if you were if the player was standing there, and you're standing there, and there's somebody in front of you. if you tap the I key while you're in front of them, does it show you their inventory? You know, kind of like if you're in Minecraft, right? If you're in Minecraft and you're in front of a chest and you right click on it, it opens up the chest inventory and your inventory and allows you to swap between those things, right? So does that mean if you're in front of a person and you do that, you hit your I key, that it opens up their inventory and your inventory? But whatever their inventory that's being displayed is, it has to be obscured by layer, because you shouldn't be able to, like, in, you know, I mean, the thing is, I'm fine with it in other games, but in games when, like, you go over to, like, a body or whatever, and it's like you have the loot option and it just shows you everything they have, that's fine. But what I'm trying to do is make it so that, like, you only have access to things that are, like, easily accessible by, like, you know, oh, if I pickpocket them. Like, you should not be able to go over to another player and remove something from their ass. You should have to undress them and then remove the thing from their ass. And similarly, even if it's not as deep as their ass, if it's in their underwear, right? Because this is a thing that's in like, that's totally a part of espionage. A part of fucking being a spy in the drama of spies is hiding things on your person. And that means that not just putting them in your pockets, but tucking them into the side of your cheek, you know, shoving them up your ass. People hide things in their underwear, like women will hide things in their bra. I want to be able to sort of honor the realism to some degree without getting too silly. I mean, it's already silly, right? This is so silly, but I don't want it to get convoluted. I don't want it to get messy. And I think there is some way to say, like, currently to the world, all the items on this person, of all the items on this person, the only ones available to somebody who's, like, walking by trying to pickpocket them should only be from their exposed pockets. Should only be on your coat pocket or whatever, right? Your back pocket, your front pocket, whatever. But if you're wearing, like, layers and you stuff something into your underwear, or if you have something in your socks, right? If somebody's hiding something in their shoe, you should not be able to pickpocket their shoe. You should have to remove their shoe and remove the thing from it, because that's just too much, you know? That's implying that pickpockets have this, like, magical ability to just reach through the physical fucking barriers of reality and then grab whatever they want and then bring it out like a ghost or whatever. And that's too video gamey for me. Adding that level of separation, I think, is super fascinating, and I don't think it's going to be terribly complex if I do it right. All right, that helped me sort out my thoughts for that. So yeah, the deeper layers thing, I think. Also, I missed a bunch of stuff because I think Rusty's here, right? Yeah, Rusty's here. What's up, Rusty? How's it going, my man? What up? Where's the key, Rusty? I love it how that 1 week RPG is now a 2 month RPG. More like a 2 year RPG. right, yeah. That's how it goes. Okay, so to get items from the deeper layers, you need to actually undress them. That means taking off clothes would come with the item in the clothes. Size pocket shelf, stash sizes. So if you hold I while you're in front of somebody, shit. Okay. Where do I put this? Inventory. Yeah, it's in inventory technically, right? Or should I call it stashing? Do I have the stashing card in here? Interrogation, blending in, dead drops, substances, resolution, physical attributes, money, multiplayer, inventory, object interaction. I don't have a card for that. I'm just gonna say Item unique object FSM, unique UI, HUD, no. Interpersonal, primary objective, inventory. Okay, so I guess it should be, I'll put inventory and stashing. And so what it can do is, put it down here. Let's make some extra spaces. The first one will be stashing controls. Hyper Shanth. Nice. How's it going, Hyper Shanth? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? I look at the bright side. I'm learning how to make animated trailer movies, etc. Or lol. Oh yeah, such a learning experience. Making video games has a stupid amount of knowledge to be had. That's so fun. Okay, stashing controls. When you're stashing, you can you have tap I, and you have hold I. Okay, I should just put that. Let's do like this. Blah 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 blah. One line down. Hold I this. Blah 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 blah. Down. Saved. Is that format right? Yeah. Nice. Okay. Tap inventory key. All right. I don't need to put. Okay. So if you tap inventory key, you do while in front of someone. While in front of someone or something that can. Let's do someone and something separate. While in front of someone. While in front of something. And then the hold inventory key is. Well, it's the same thing. It's this. You have to have the same logic. Okay. Oops. There you go. Okay, so I have to figure out the logic for these four situations. I honestly fucking love game dev. Like, game dev is just fun, and you get to make your own dream game. Yep. Couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely. Steven, as an homage to you, I did the last trailer in real-time animation recording, and it was completely run by PlayMaker. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. An homage to me just in that it's made with PlayMaker? Is that why? Wait, last trailer in real-time animation recording. Sounds cool, whatever the case is. Rusty, have you ever tried the built-in timeline? Okay, so tap inventory key while in front of somebody, while in front of something. Tapping it while in front of someone should open inventory UI with that person's exposed inventory slots. Okay, well, in front of something, open inventory UI with that thing's inventory slots. Like, what type of things did you have? You'd have like a cash register. Like a book. It makes me think, like, because things like a book, right? You don't want to just, or you could. I'm actually okay with the idea of, like, if you grab a book and then look inside of it, it's like, oh, there's a gun in it. Like, duh, because it's like a gun is huge. You'd have to carve out a whole thing. It'd be a very obvious thing. But things like if you grabbed a book and were looking for a note in it, if there's a piece of paper somewhere in it, that probably would still be relatively easy to get because you could shake it out. But if it was like taped inside, you might have to look for... I guess what I'm thinking is like, is there any situations where there could be something inside of something, but it wouldn't be apparent, it wouldn't be obvious, and it would take some sort of digging around or some type of altering of the object to expose that thing. What's a good example of that? Like, maybe it is just, you just have the thing, whatever. So open the inventory with that thing's inventory slots, fine. Holding the inventory key while in front of somebody though, should... It makes me want to, like, wherever you are holding the inventory key, it makes me want to have like specific places on each NPC, or each character rather, even players, where it's like I would put a collider for each pocket and each place there could be something. And so if you... That could be interesting. So that way, the same way when you're you know, when you have the mouse over the lamp, right, and it says lamp, that's what you could do with it. You would also have that for like I would put little colliders on each pocket, and then so when your mouse is over it, it'll say like breast pocket or front left pocket or back pocket. Holding inventory key. Let's take a look at this for a second. Let's see. I'm trying to find like what a nice little test lab situation we could do. Like if I have these tables and chairs, I could bring out like this eclair. Is there something else? Maybe I could bring out the espresso machine and the cash register. Maybe I'll bring the cash register out. It also, you know what I'm gonna do? Fuck it. I'm just gonna put a little temporary ground collider here because I don't want to drag these items out of their places. So what I'll do is select this. Oh, look it, and it did add the entirety of it. So I think I can walk over here. Let me play test this really quick. Let me make sure I can just walk on this floor. Because if I can, then I'll just walk into the cafe and we'll use the eclair and the cash register and stuff as an example. Okay, good, I could walk inside. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll put the logic on this eclair and the cash register. Is there anything else? That is kind of it in here, huh? Okay. I think that's fine. Let's try that. Steven, how long you on tonight? Gonna pull my ribs off the smoker and nosh out. Nosh out. Then hop back on in a bit. I don't know. I wanted to hop offline an hour ago. Like, I constantly feel so exhausted from being on stream that I wish I could just listen to some ASMR right now. Listen to some ASMR while I keep working, of course. But I kind of just keep pulling through. I don't know. I don't have a reliable answer for you. I am an unreliable narrator streamer right now. Okay, let's see, where's it at? First of all, let's put the player in here. Yeah. Temp player, assets, game object, line, move to view? Nah, that doesn't work. Align with view. Oh, no. Rotation. Okay. And then we'll get this cash register. We'll give it a template, objects, object. And we'll get this eclair to use template, objects, object. Oh, I love templates so much. Oh my God. Okay. Turn off these gizmos. So first of all, the eclair, the description, interact description. You know what? If you just interact with it, you'll eat it. But then you can also grab it. Is grabbable? Yes. Item name, eclair. I really do not, I'm not a big fan of displaying the name of the thing that you're looking at on screen. I'm super duper not a big fan of that, but I also recognize and appreciate the utility of it. So I think that's going to be one of those things where like I include it, but it's also a toggle the player can choose to turn on or off. Object specific FSM is, we'll call it food, right? Or what do you call it? Consumable. And we're gonna make a new FSM. I'm just kind of going, I'm going a little off the rails here. I just want to make all the things right now. So a consumable will have an initialization state for who knows what the fuck. And then here we'll have the standby. And then we'll give it an interact event, custom events, interact event, send off here to eat, I guess, or consume rather, because it might be something that is not eaten or drinking or whatever. This is a funny dream, but my dream is for Survival Works to be on the Playmaker Showcase website if Survival Works blows up. That is a cool dream. I want that too. I would love if Memories of a Spy was on that showcase on Hutong. That would be, let's do it. Let's fucking do it. And if it's not these games, right? Maybe it's a future game. Maybe it's not Survival Works or Memories of a Spy, but maybe it's another one we make in the future. That'd be cool. Okay, so consume, standby, consume. I don't have like the health system and all that shit yet right now, so I guess this kind of doesn't matter. I guess I would just, for right now, I'm just gonna deactivate self. Right, if I consume it, it just goes away. It's funny. And then the, FSM stash collider. Okay, so here's where I would put on the collider. Let's give it a capsule collider. Actually, no, because then it's gonna be rolling around. let's give it a cube, a box collider. Let me turn off these Hutong. Where are the Playmaker ones? These aren't, yeah, these, sometimes I find these don't always go away, but okay. Yeah, that's good enough, right? And then, so, oh, it's funny, it just collapses the components. I didn't realize that. I guess we could just do this. Interesting, okay. So, what is this? The object, I need to name it, right? And then consumable, sure. Stash collider is itself. All right, and then we do the same thing with this one. Memories of an astronaut. Yeah. Trust me, I have so many games that are essentially simulator games, just like Memories of a Spy, but for like different genres that I love. It is not a series that would ever become exhausted, I don't think. No, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Shut up. Okay. Object FSM. Object. What is this? Cash register. We're gonna add a component. FSM. I guess, yeah, there's multiple cash registers in the game. So cash register, object specific FSM, and then we're gonna give it a box collider, and actually, would it just do, okay, there we go, that's better, I like that. Stash collider in here. Item name, cafe register. Is grabbable? Yes. Is interactable? Yes. Interact description 1 is oh, fuck. What's kind of fucked about this one is that you actually I'll just do this. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Open, close, and then grab. Okay, and then cash register will come in here. Give it an init state. And then finished down here, boom. We'll say this is closed register, and then give it an interact event. This music is making me lose my mind, but you know, who needs sanity? This is open register. Memories of Jean Lower Dale of Mildly Brave People. Hey, sup, haven't watched your streams in a while. Last stream I saw you were still in Blender. How's the project going? Sunny with a Q. How's it going? Memories of Jean Fabre. That is, I gotta take a picture of this. That is so fucking funny. Oh, it's so good. Let's save that for later. Sunny, I'm good, man. I'm on a roll. I'm having fucking so much fun right now. Close register, cool. So what cash registers need is 2 empties in them. We'll have the open and the closed. And cash register, it'll have 2 variables. Well, actually closed, we'll just do a move towards, and it'll be the cache tray, right? All cache registers have a cache tray. The target object it'll be moving towards will be a new variable called open. And we're going to change the speed to 1, finish distance to 0.1, 0.01 rather. Finished event will be, we have no finished event, it'll just do that. Or rather, do we have it finish? I think it does, that's fine, that's fine. So then we have that happen over in this. So in closed, actually, it's gonna be the variable closed. Okay, and then interact event, I'm gonna add another one in here to send back. And then in variables, we'll have the closed as an input and the open as an input and the cache tray as an input. So that way we could change it per cache register. So we'll drag the open in here and the closed in here. And then the cache tray, I think is this part, right? Yeah, nice. Okay, brilliant. Who needs sanity? As Steven says, looking deeply into the camera. Oh yeah. I mean, that is like my motto at this point. I mean, I think you probably are even at a loss with the more sanity you have. All right, Steven, nom 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 nom, some ribs. Catch up in a bit. Right on, enjoy those ribs. Get sloppy with it. Okay, what is that? Okay, I just want to see this fucking cache register open and close right now. So cache register does that, great. oh, the open and close needs to be adjusted, right? So it's like for this is closed, so I'll put it in here and I'll zero this out. Okay, and then I'll bring it back out. And then I will focus up on it. Oops. Focus in. And I'll bring it out to like right about there. Or where is it? Yeah, like right there is good. Maybe in just a little bit more. And then I'll put the open in here. And then this open, I'll zero this out. Okay, and then I'll take open out and put it in here. And that should be good. So in here, I should be able to take this and put it back here into closed and do 0, 0, 0. Yep, nice, and put it back up here. Cool. And now this cash register should just work. I think. Closed. Yep. Change that to none. That to none. Okay, let's go take a look at it. Press play. It might do that thing where I need a buffer. I might need a next frame buffer on this, which sucks. It sucks. Let's see. All right, so I can open and close or grab it. So I'm gonna, yeah, it's right. It's doing it too fast. I need a buffer. Shit. So it always goes down 1, and then you do next frame. Next. This goes here, and that goes there. Okay, I'm just gonna call this buffer and buffer 2. Hit play again. See this fucking cash register open. All right, open. Boom, close, boom. Yeah, and you can grab it. Gotcha. Don't even need to take that money. I got the whole damn thing and I'm just running with it. But this also doesn't have a rigid body on it right now. It's funny. Super funny, oh my God. Okay, let's put a rigid body on it really quick. Just wanna see that run. Oh, I love systemic game design. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh, because it fell through the thing because this doesn't have a collider on it. Okay, so you can open and close it. You can grab it and you can drop it. You can grab it. Okay, take it out here and then open it. Grab it when it's open. You can spin it around and look at it. Right? Drop it like that. Oh, and you can close it, grab it, and let's not forget, is it right click or left click? Is it left click or right click? Is it right click? Oh no, it's left click. It's like, yeah, you can throw that shit. Oops, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. So all objects, oh, and it just flew through the floor because there's no collider over there. Okay, this is so fun. This is so fucking fun. Looks pretty good. You can add coins in there with rigid bodies so they fall out. Right, totally. Yeah, I do want to figure out how I'm gonna handle like all of the rigid bodies in this game. I know there's things about making rigid bodies asleep and kind of like, you know, so there's ways to make it so they're not doing their thing and not sucking up all the resources. So I gotta learn more about that, about how people in bigger open world games treat it. Okay, so now we could do the stashing thing. So this eclair, well, let's run it really quick because I think yeah, so this cash register, this is its size. It's 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5. But the eclair, its size is 0.2, 0.05, and 0.06. So all of that checks out, and that should be that should mean that you could stash that fucking eclair inside of that register. And it'll more or less like hide it. Like it'll just turn off the mesh or even deactivate the game object. It'll like put it in it, it'll make it a parent, it'll make it a child, and then it'll deactivate it. But it'll also, it'll also need to get it. So that's a thing. That's another variable on all of the object templates that we need, is an array. And the array should just be called container. And it's a game object array. So this array is going to be responsible for, I'll make it an output just so we could see it. But that thing is dynamically set during the game. So if I go to the player, player interact. I'm getting tired, y'all. I'm getting real tired. And it's mostly just from like talking on stream. Normally I would have taken like 10 little breaks and just went and laid on my couch, watched something stupid, got inspired again, and then come back, worked on the game, rinse, repeat. Okay, but let's get stashing sorted out. At least. Okay. Is grabbable, is interactable, and this is the player interact. So what I want, shit. You know what? Honestly, I am gonna bail right now. I am gonna bail. I'm fucking tired. I just need to I need to take a break. I might hop back on another stream. That's in the cards. It's not out of the question. But I think for now I'm gonna hop off. So to everybody who swung by, just in case I don't see you later, we had Fuse in the mix, Rusty in the mix, Sunny swung by for the first time in a minute, Hyper Shanth. Dusty Wee was here, or maybe is still here. There's lots of people. I don't know who the hell is still here anymore. Shadow is Light, Broken Bones, Razubi, somebody I can't pronounce her name, but it's a Greek name, and Tyrone was here. So to anybody who's still in the chat, thanks for swinging by, and anybody who might be watching this later, thanks for swinging by. But yeah, I'm gonna take a little break right now. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you learned something. Hope you had a laugh, or at least just enjoyed the company as I did yours. So yeah, hop into the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, you should. There's a link in the description. Come out, come hang with the community, share what you're working on. If you've never used Playmaker, there's a link to get Playmaker in the description as well. And if you grab it and you use my link to grab it, I get a nice little commission. So if you want to support me, that's one way you can do it. There's also PayPal. I don't know if I have a PayPal donate button in the description. I probably should, but I do also have a PayPal if you search my name. My Steven Scott Day me account, which is who I am, by the way. My name is Steven. If you've never swung by and this is your first time, I'm Steven, making this game Memories of a Spy. Check out the playlists and the devlog stuff, all the stream stuff. Links are in the description. Okay, everybody, take care of yourselves. I'll talk to you soon, whether it be in the Discord or a stream later today. Don't eat too much, don't eat too little. Get lots of sleep. Drink lots of water. Get some exercise. Go for a walk. Hang out with the people you love. So see your friends and family. Be in the same room with them if you can. But if you can't, at least give them a call. All right, everybody. I will talk to you as soon as I can find where the stream button is. There it is. Okay. Peace, everybody.